Welcome everyone to the finals between Javokhir, Sindarov and Wei Yi. We have the guest of honor as the India's second grandmaster, the legendary Dibyendu Barua, who moves the pawn to d4. And Wei Yi and Sindarov are now ready for the 15 plus 10 tie break. The first game, their classical games ended in draws and pawn to d4 by Sindarov. Wei Yi brings his knight out to f6, c4, e6, knight to f3, and we have the queen's gambit declined with d5. Knight to c3 played and bishop to b4. We have the Ragozin here, bishop to g5, h6 played, and Sindarov takes, queen takes on f6, e3 played here, and now black castles. Javokhir plays his rook to c1. So very typical structure where white has free flowing development. Black has the bishop pair here, and now queen comes to b3, attacking the bishop and also putting pressure on the central pawn. He takes on c3, queen takes on c3, stopping any e5 advances. c6 played to bolster the center. a4, a very cool move, gaining space on the queen side. This is a novelty, a new idea by Javokhir Sindarov. It's never been played before, and rook e8 is met with a5, gaining more space. Black plays e5, and now the best way is to take and play bishop b5, but instead he takes on e5, knight e5, pawn takes pawn, and Sindarov is opening up the position for this sharp line if Wei Yi wants to play, but Wei Yi decides against it. He takes on d5, takes, knight takes e5, queen takes on e5. Now queen takes queen, rook takes queen, and king to d2 played. So white is trying to sort of blockade here, say that you have a weak pawn, but d4 attacks the pawn on a5. Pawn takes on d4, and that is a very good exchange for Wei Yi, because now after rook takes pawn, the d4 pawn can be weak. Bishop e6, rook d8, black can start pressing, but rook c5, a nice move. And now very likely rook a2 or rook a1 look good, but he takes, pawn takes. The position is equal, but it seems like white's structure improved. Bishop e6 by Wei Yi. He's like, I'm happy with the draw here with black pieces. Bishop to d3 is played. And now bishop comes to d5, putting pressure on the g2 pawn. He defends it with f3, and now rook to c8, attacking the c5 pawn. We go pawn to b4, protecting the pawn, and a5 by Wei Yi, breaking the structure. We have b takes a5, rook takes on c5, rook c1, and he takes because rook takes a5 was met with a checkmate. So king takes on c1, king f8, king to d2, king e7, king c3. We have king to d6, and now king d4 played here. f6, and white pushes the pawn to h4, trying to gain some space on the king side, and blunder by Wei Yi. Oh my goodness, what a big mistake. And the winning move here for Sindarov is bishop e4. The point is, after takes, king takes, it's a winning king and pawn endgame. Can Sindarov find this? No, he goes h5. He misses the golden opportunity. We need to analyze that position deeper as to how Wei Yi and Sindarov both missed that critical moment in the game. It came out of the blue. It was like looking equal, and then suddenly that one flash, bishop goes to f7, attacking the pawn on h5. Good move. g4 defends it, and now bishop to e6, and Sindarov attacks the pawn on b7 here. Wei Yi goes and defends it, and he gains more space with king c5. And bishop to c8. No, he puts it back on e6. He doesn't want to play that. Bishop to c8. He goes bishop d7 now. And king to d5 played. Bishop goes back. And bd3. It's difficult for white to break through here. The bishop is controlling important squares. Bishop d7, threatening a check. b2 played. Can we just wait with bishop c8? That's what he does. Good move. And now bishop to b5. He finds bd7. Take. King takes. And now king e4. Wei brings his king up to e6. f4, breaking on the king side. G takes f4. King takes on f4. King e7. And we have king e3. Very interesting move, because whenever you come to e6, I want to come to e4. But whenever white enters f5, black needs to be on f7. So that's what Wei Yi does. Now if king f5, there's king f7. And so the position is drawn. Sindarov offers a draw and Wei Yi accepts it. The game ends in a draw. Both the players can be happy with this result, but when Sindarov would know that he had a big opportunity there, I'm pretty sure he's going to be upset about it. How did that opportunity come about? What was going on in that position? Let's try to dive deep and understand as to how that move, bishop e4, would have won in that position. The position here looks very equal, and black can draw this game in multiple ways. Bishop b3, bishop c6, bishop f7, but g5 turned out to be a critical error. It's difficult to understand why. Now look at this. If you go bishop e4, there are two ways to play this position. One is to take the bishop, the second is to play bishop c6. Let's analyze both. If you take the bishop, I take king takes. Now I'm threatening to come here, so you try to stop me. And now a very important move, h5. This is very useful because I block here, and now if you move the king away, I enter in, and that could be very dangerous because I have waiting moves. So you play f5, which is logical, king d4, threatening here, so king d6 stopping, and now an important move, g3, to stop the move f4 from coming about. So now if you go king here, I'll come here. You're just out of moves actually at this point. So let's say, for example, king here, king c5, king d7, king b6, king. So for example, king b6, there's king c8, but king d5, and I just simply come and win the pawns. So this actually is pretty clear that this is winning for white. Let's look at now bishop c6. If you go back, I once again push my pawn to h5, putting you out of moves in a way. Because let's imagine that you play the move now bishop e4, I come king e4, threatening to come here, king e6, and now a nice move is g3. Once again, a very, very cool move, very important move. f5 check, king goes to d4, king d6, and now this very very important move f4. Now black can keep the opposition with g4, but it's very difficult because this line actually is very tough, because king c4, now king c6, king b4, very important move. And now let's say if you go backwards, I'll take, like, push you back, and then I'll come and win this pawn. So either you can wait and let me go and win the pawn, and you can come and try to win the a pawn and push. That's one way. The other way is to directly try and go here, but it's too slow. Like this one is absolutely not working because I just queen, I'm too fast. So you go here, king c7, or maybe king d6, king b5, king c7, king c5. That's kind of dominating here. I'm not even able to get much. So king, maybe it's better if I start with king c7, king c5, king b8, king d5, king a7, king e5, king a6, takes, and now king e5, b5, f5, b4, f6, b3, f7, b2, f8 queen, b1 queen, check, and I win this bishop, this queen here, next move. So it's actually complicated lines, but in a way you will see that the concept is pretty clear. In one case you have like the extra move to infiltrate. In the other one, it's more like you are able to force him. Like for example, b6 is met with a6 here, and I'm forcing you to get passive and then enter in, which is really very difficult. Like here it's just too slow. I mean, white is just winning easily.